Hi everybody, Daniel Moore, osteopath here. Short video to show you some things you can do to loosen up your lower back while you're sitting in the chair. And this is particularly relevant at this time in the world's history when here in New Zealand we've just been put into a 4-week lockdown. So we're having to stay at home and there's going to be a lot of time spent sitting in front of computers. And even when we're not in lockdown, when we're working in an office environment and we're sitting in front of a computer all day long, sometimes you don't have the opportunity to get up and move around. Sometimes you may be able to just do some exercises on the chair itself. So this is what this little video is all about. How you can loosen up your back while you're actually in the chair. So let me begin by talking about the position to sit on. I want you to sit in the chair, right on the edge of the chair, as if you're just about to slide off. I want you to place your feet about hip width apart and place your hands on your knees. As you sit on the edge of the chair, I want you to bring your attention to the bones in your bum. You might think of them as the sitting bones, or from a medical perspective, they're the ischial tuberosities. You can feel where they are. If you just put your hand under your bottom, you can feel as you sit down on that hard bony piece. I want you to locate where that is by moving your weight from side to side. Excuse me. And what I want you to do is I want you to take your weight on one sit bone, then take your weight onto the other sit bone, and then find the balance point between the two where your weight's equally distributed and your two sit bones are kind of stabilized. And I want you to keep that position throughout these exercises. So sit bones are stabilized, hands on the thighs, and you're looking out. The way that you're sitting is part of the exercise. I want you to imagine that as you're sitting there, you're sitting like the tribal chief, and you're looking out at your beautiful tribe of people who you love and adore, and they're looking up at you, and there you are in your tribal chiefly magnificence. You're sitting there with a lift in your body, a lift in your heart. You're looking out at the people, and you're proud and you're confident. If you don't want to be a tribal chief, you can be royal. You can be on a throne. You can be sitting there awaiting the crown to be placed upon your head. The idea is to use a little bit of imagery and metaphor to get your body into a feeling of being comfortable and confident. So here you are, you're sitting with your sit bones on the edge of the chair. You've got the weight equal on both sides. You've got a nice curve in your lower back. And what you're going to do is you're going to do this movement that I call a ripple. And the movement looks like this. You're going forwards, down, and back up again. It's as if I'm looking out at my tribe, and then the last minute I look down at the floor, and then I come back up and I look out again. And I continue this movement. I get a sense of a flowing, gliding, smooth, slippery movement going on in my back. Now, this is actually quite hard work. You're getting this rippling effect going through your spine. It's not a movement that we generally normally do. So it may take a little bit of work for your muscles to become coordinated to do this. I'm encouraging you to stick with it because it won't take long for you to build the coordination to do this. And as you ripple through your spine, I want you to feel a sense of fluidity and flow. I want you to feel like you're moving in a kind of a slow motion, almost as if time slows down. And I want you to see if you can feel the whole of your spine involved in the ripple. And as the ripple goes through your spine, the attention or the awareness of different parts of your spine will change. So this is the first movement, it's the ripple. And you do that for as long as it feels comfortable. 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes if you like. Don't limit yourself to counts. So I've got to do 10 ripples. What you want to do is be in response to the way it feels in your body. So you ripple until you feel you've rippled enough. You learn to listen to your body and let your body kind of learn to dictate to you how many times you need to do it. After the ripple, the next movement I want to show you is the slump. And the slump looks like this. We pull back and we look down again. And then we come back up. It's as if someone puts their hand around my waist and pulls me backwards. But I'm keeping my hands on my knees because I don't want to be pulled all the way back. And then they release and I come back up again. So although I'm using the word slump, it's not really the best word, because a slump's like a flop. And this is more of a pulling back with a little sense of gentle tension in your spine as you pull back. I call it a slump because it kind of looks like a slump, but it's a slump with a lift. So you kind of curve your back into a contraction, into a flexion, and then you release it back to a neutral position. So this is the slump movement. And this is a really cool exercise to get your spine moving and to get the muscles in your core working. And it's very dynamic. Then you can put the two together. You can put the ripple and the slump together. I'm going to show you how. So watch and see if you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to do ripple. Slump. And then I'm going to find a kind of a natural way of doing the two together. I'm going to ripple, slump. You're not going to worry about keeping it precise. It's more about the quality of movement. So you're getting that ripple through your back, and then you're getting that slump and that lift. Those two exercises, I found them to be really effective for my own stiff back, and I found them to be really effective with patients. And if you're a patient of mine and I've prescribed this exercise for you, you'll recognise it because we did it in the clinic room. And if you're not a patient of mine, I'd encourage you to have a little play with this exercise. I'd encourage you to err on the side of doing it smaller and slower to begin with, and gradually build into it. And I promise you, if you stick with it, that this exercise is going to become really useful for you, because it's going to get your spine moving in ways that are going to really help it loosen up and relax. If you have any issues with the exercise, I suggest that you go back and you watch the whole video again, just to really make sure you're getting the message that's in the video. And if after watching it again you're still getting a problem, put a little comment in the box, or either on the Facebook group or in my website where I've listed these videos. Just put a comment around what your challenge is and I'll see if I can address that for you. So that's the ripple and the slump. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.